Oh my, well, nearly 8 years ago, this was the chaos at New Orleans City Council. Anger from people after the council unanimously voted to demolish the 4 big public housing developments.
City leaders, including then Mayor Ray Nagin, applauded that decision, saying it was necessary to improve life here after Hurricane Katrina. But 10 years later, as construction continues, many people who once called Lafitte, B.W. Cooper, St. Bernard, the Magnolia, and Iberville housing developments home say the better life they were promised isn't so wonderful. And
many of them were never able to return. Those who did feel like they're being pushed out of their neighborhoods.
Reporter Andy Cunningham spent some time talking with people and the people trying to help them remain here in New Orleans. His story is new at 5.
Some say they went up overnight. And 10 years after Hurricane Katrina, that construction continues at several sites once home to the city's public housing developments.
And, you know, I live in this block, and I don't think I know 3 people that was here before.
Meet Leah Pori, one of the original tenants of the Lafitte development when it opened in 1942.
This is no longer Lafitte. This is Providence.
It looks much different now from the original brick structures. Some have dared to call the redevelopment of Lafitte the center of the Tremaize revival. For Paris, who returned 3 years ago, it's lost that community feel.
I don't think we're going to ever really get back, basically for black folks. I don't think that's going to happen.
An honest account from an original New Orleanian who doesn't want to live anywhere else, yet fears one day she may not have a choice.
Well, we know that New Orleans is facing an affordability crisis.
Kashana Hill runs the Greater New Orleans Fair Housing Action Center, one of many organizations trying to assist people like Leah Paris remain in New Orleans.
What we see right now is that many neighborhoods are closed off, and so people are having to move to neighborhoods in which they've never lived, and they're concentrated in areas that are continuing to be racially segregated.
Hill said the city has done a poor job of keeping its promise after Katrina to rebuild a New Orleans for all, citing failed policies and programs like the Housing Choice Voucher.
And so it's really important that these conversations are happening and that we all work together to ensure that people who have lived in New Orleans for a long time can keep living here.
And there are plenty of people like Neil Morris fighting on the front lines to do just that.
What our mission is, what we're trying to do is provide replacement housing for former Iberville residents.
Morris, the president of Red Melon Restoration and Development, is helping former Iberville residents struggling to find affordable housing.
And we're trying to provide, if not for those folks, housing for folks who want to stay in their neighborhood.
Morris's team buys the most blighted houses around the city and renovates them 50 at a time in gentrifying areas. And with the help of nonprofits, rents them to lower-income residents.
People come to New Orleans in these neighborhoods for the same thing, but what we don't want to see happen is it tip in the other direction and folks who want to stay can no longer be there anymore.
The idea is to ensure the Big Easy isn't so hard to call home.
I came back home because I love Lafitte. It was a beautiful place to live.
Reporting in Tremay, Andy Cunningham, WDSU News.
According to the Greater New Orleans Fair Housing Center, as of 2015, New Orleanians now spend more than 50% of their income on rent, and rent in the city is up more than 30% for a 1-bedroom apartment and more than 40% for a 2-bedroom compared to before Hurricane Katrina.